The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Marcus Hanscom. I'm your Education Chair for NAGAP, and thanks so much for joining us for our latest webinar. And we're excited for this one because it means only a few more days before we're out of the office for a little while. So we're excited to have you hopefully joining us up in Toronto for what looks to be a really great conference. And Naronda and Mary to sing their praises. They've done a heck of a job getting all of us corralled and getting a good conference together for all of you. So I'm really excited for the conference. And so this will be presented by Naronda Wright, who's our conference chair, and Mary Pascarella, who is our conference education chair. And before I send it over to them, if you have any questions, you'll see there's a questions box on the right-hand side of your screen if you're on desktop, and I believe it's a button on the bottom of your mobile device if you're on a mobile app. And you can ask any questions that you have, and I will make sure that Naronda and Mary get to those at the end of the session. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Naronda, and we're excited to have you join us in Toronto. I think Naronda's muted.
Sorry, I was just talking. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Added to Marcus's welcome, we are definitely excited about Toronto. We look forward to next week and greeting you all when you get there. So we're just going to jump in to our webinar. We don't want to take a lot of time. You also have access to this PowerPoint after the conference, and if you have any questions, feel free to definitely ask them in the session, and Marcus will let us know what they are, and we'll also be available via email. If you guys have any questions, you can email Mary or myself, and we'll try to get you the answers that you need. So just jumping in, our conference theme, Global Outlooks, Reaching Beyond Borders. The conference is April 10th through 13th. Here we go. So before you leave, the number one thing is do not forget your passport, because you will get to the airport and you will not be able to get on your flight. There's also a recognition letter that was sent out to you via email. It's suggested that you have it, but it's not a requirement that you have it in order to cross over. It may speed things up for you when you're crossing over from the U.S. into Canada. Business cards, make sure you bring lots of business cards, because there's lots of opportunities for networking at the conference. So you want to make sure that you're able to exchange your business cards with colleagues that you meet, with vendors that you meet at the conference, so you're able to keep in touch. On Wednesday, we're going to have our welcome reception. So that's our event where you have the opportunity to show your school spirit. So make sure you pack a shirt to show your school spirit at that event. Just looking at the weather for Toronto for next week, it's going to be wet and cold. So make sure that you are prepared for that with the proper clothing, shoes, umbrellas, whatever, or rain jackets, whatever you feel you may need for that. Make note of any cell phone data restrictions when you're not on the hotel Wi-Fi. So just make sure that you check with your mobile carrier to let them know you're going out of town, if you need to add, or out of country, if you need to add any international data or access to your service while you're away. Make sure you do that so there aren't any unexpected charges when you return to the U.S. The Canadian dollar, the currency exchange, if you use a credit card, you can use your credit card while you're in Toronto, and they automatically convert it to the Canadian dollar. If you use cash, you get a little bit more bang for your buck using the U.S. dollar, because there's more value in the U.S. dollar than the Canadian dollar right now. So if you use cash, just know that you will get Canadian money back as your change. You can also visit the nagap.org/conference travel information site just to get a lot of the information that you may have and get questions answered that we may not answer for you on this call or on this webinar, but it's a resource for you there, and just feel free to take advantage of that opportunity. Mary's going to talk to you about the conference app.
Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. So we have a new app this year if you've attended previously, and the easiest way to locate that is just go to your Apple App Store or Google Play and search for NAGAP, and that will bring up the conference app. Within it, you'll find the schedule, a list of exhibitors, our speakers, maps, all sorts of information about Toronto, and basically everything that you need in the app is located within it. So you can set up your own schedule, read through the session descriptions, and pick those sessions that you're interested in attending. It also is going to link to the app Evernote, so if you like to take notes in your device, you can do that using Evernote or just within the app itself, and that's a really great feature because then you can email those notes and keep them linked into the sessions that you've attended. As far as getting to the conference, there we go. Remember what's happening. When you get to the airport, you're going to go ahead and take the rail from the airport. There's going to be located in Terminal 1 and Terminal 3, and you can also take, of course, a taxi. They do have Uber and Lyft as well at the airport, so you're able to take those as well. We have a 25% discount using the code NAGAP 2019 if you're interested in taking the U Express, and you'll take it to Union Station. And Union Station is very close to the Sheraton Center where our conference is located. It's about a mile away, so you certainly can walk, or you can take a taxi. There'll be a taxi station right outside of Union Station. Also, you can take, when you're walking, you can go above ground normally, but we do have a whole underground system as well, so that's the Toronto Underground. And I provided the address here as well if you need that to do any location. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this back over to Naronda for the next slide.
Thanks, Mary. Our community service project this year is with Pathways to Education, and they are a national charitable organization supporting youth living in low-income communities and is designed to assist in overcoming barriers to education. So if you look at the top, it has the information about the service project or the website address. So you can go there, you can make your donations using that link online, or you can do it on site during the conference. We will have the buckets like we've had in the traditionally in the past 3 to 4 years, we passed the bucket around, but we will have them set up throughout the conference. There may be some at the welcome reception, the opening ceremony. So you'll be able to make your on-site donation. So feel free to bring cash, just put a couple extra dollars in your bags for that, or you can definitely go online and make your donation. And it will be credited to NAGAP to show that NAGAP made the donation. So you'll have that option in the online link. And this year, as most years, NAGAP will match up to $500 in member donations towards the community service project. So conference agenda. Registration opens on site on Wednesday at 3 p.m. and it's located in the convention concourse. Information on that can be found in the conference app and also online. Thursday, we'll have our traditional fun run, which starts at 6 a.m. So there will be a group that will meet everyone in the lobby to get that started. It's a pretty fun route. It kind of takes you through some of the historic area of downtown Toronto, so you'll be able to see some of the architecture and some of the different cool buildings that are located in the area. As far as sessions, they're organized in tracks and run concurrently for 1 hour each from Wednesday through Saturday morning. We're trying something different this year where it's going to be lunch on your own on Thursday instead of having a group lunch. So there's lots of restaurants that are connected to the hotel in the underground area. I mean, it's restaurants galore. So you will definitely have your choice of options from Subway to traditional Canadian food restaurants. You can also go outside and walk along the streets. There's lots of restaurants that are pretty close to the hotel that will give you different options to choose from. Friday is an off-site event, and it's going to be held at the Hockey Hall of Fame. The first-timer sessions will be on Wednesday at 4:30 in the Dominion Ballroom, which will be located on the second floor of the hotel. So if you've never attended a NAGAP conference, or if you have attended and just never took advantage of a first-time session, we definitely encourage you to do that. It'll give you the opportunity to kind of break that ice with other colleagues that are just attending the conference for the first time. You'll get to meet the NAGAP board members, some of us from the conference planning committee, as well as learn more about the NAGAP organization, the benefits of being a member, and the services that it offers. And you'll meet other members and enjoy networking opportunities. And I'm going to turn it over to Mary to go over the GEM certificate.
So I'm really excited. This year we're offering a certificate of completion, and if you've signed up for that, you will receive an intent to participate form that you'll complete as you go through your conference sessions. You will, once that's completed, you'll return that to the registration desk where you'll receive your certificate of completion. The sessions are online at the link at that last bullet point, so you can pick amongst those sessions to enhance your skill set and learn more about the GEM life cycle and bring some value added back to work. This is at capacity. I am providing Marcus's information here if you wish to be placed on the waiting list for this fantastic opportunity. And as far as our social media, we like to stay connected. So please follow us on Twitter at nagap.org. We're also on Facebook, and I provided that information there for you. And then if you like to tweet through the event, you'll see some opportunities to do that through the app, as well as just going into Twitter on your own steam. And those are some of the hashtags that we like to use to kind of keep track of each other during the session.
There'll also be opportunities to win prizes for social media posts. So if you're attending sessions and there's a key point that kind of sticks out to you, you can tweet it, Facebook it, Instagram it, hashtag NAGAP Learn. And leading up to the conference, if you're attending, if you see something that's posted on any of our social media sites, feel free to retweet it, repost it, and just use the hashtag NAGAP I'm going. So we'll know that you're coming, and other colleagues will know that you're attending the conference as well.
And if I can, I'm just going to jump in on the NAGAP Learns real quick. The hashtag NAGAP Learns, what we're going to do with the education committee that we did last year as well, is at the end of the conference, we kind of aggregate all of the hashtag NAGAP Learns tweets that have been put out through the duration of the conference. And what we've considered doing in the past is releasing that as a standalone resource with all the tweets that came through that. But what we've also done more recently is we've put various tweets in the weekly NAGAP news. And so it's just a way to, especially since you can only be in one place at a time, kind of get some kind of nuggets of information that be really helpful from other sessions you're not able to attend. And they'll be in the weekly newsletter and perhaps in another resource that we'll use at a later time.
Marcus, do we have any other questions?
Yes, there's a bunch of questions. So I don't think you addressed it, but the list of vendors for the conference is in the app, you said, right, earlier?
Yeah, that's correct. If you go into the app, you'll see different categories. So you'll have My Schedule, and then the link that you would want is called Exhibitors, and that's going to be a list of the vendors A through Z, and you can actually click on the vendor and see the booth number and the contact information for that exhibitor.
Okay, I'm going to try to group these questions so that they make sense. Can the app be used on a laptop as well for note-taking?
I don't know about that. I downloaded mine on my phone, and it is in the Google Play, but so you could try and get to it that way, but otherwise I think it's going to be kind of a mobile device app, but I don't know about that actually.
Without having the definitive answer, I would think that because there's integration with Evernote, if you're using the same Evernote account, I think the Evernote portion of the app at least would integrate desktop to mobile pretty easily. It's the app itself that may not be a desktop app. So travel logistics, if you're driving, is there any parking that's close by?
There is parking available at the hotel. I don't know how much is available, but they do have parking available at the hotel.
Okay. And
I'm going to jump back in here really quickly. For your desktop, you can go to Google Play and download the app onto your laptop and use it on your laptop.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you, Mary.
There's a couple questions about the fun run, so I'll throw them both at you. How do we know if it's still happening, if it's weather permitting, and how long is the fun run itself?
If weather prohibits us from doing it, there will be a note that will go out or an alert through the app to let you know that it's been canceled. The fun run, oh gosh, Mary, do you remember how long Brian said it was calculated at?
I think it was 2 miles. I know it was a little bit shorter than a typical 5K, but you can go onto our website and look at the map if you want some more information about that. And then our contact information for that is going to be Brian DeRossier, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he also will be available on site. And if you just check in with us at the registration desk, we'll be able to talk to you more about that as well.
Okay. There was a question here, too, that just came in regarding the fun run. You can, in fact, walk the fun run if you would like to not run the fun run in the morning.
That is true.
There's a couple questions related to the app. A few people are having trouble finding it. I found it under NAGAP events if you're in at least in the Apple store. I'm not sure about Google Play, Mary.
Yeah, if you just type NAGAP in Google Play, it's going to come up under NAGAP events, as Marcus said, and it'll be a core app, and then you can install it right there. And as far as the Apple Store, again, I just searched on the word NAGAP, and then once you search on that word, you'll see it says NAGAP events, and then you can download that to open it onto your iPhone.
Okay. Boy, there's a lot of questions. I'm trying to juggle them all here. Where exactly on the website is the donation button for the charity?
Let me go back to that slide that has the actual link on there. So if you see that.
Actually, I found it for you, Naronda. I was bouncing around the website. If you go to the annual conference page on our website, you will see a link. It's toward the bottom of that red link list, or actually it's about in the middle. It says Community Service Project. And you'll see there's a link embedded right in that paragraph that says you can donate to Pathways to Education there.
Perfect. Thanks, Marcus.
Sure. Okay, the certificate of completion, just email me if you'd like. Actually, my email's blowing up. There's several of you have jumped on that in the last few minutes. So just email me and we can figure out what kind of space we have left. We might have a few that we can still accommodate. So Naronda or Mary, can you talk about the conference space itself? Will we be the only conference there, and is it large enough that we may need to plan extra time to walk between sessions?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about that. Naronda, feel free to chime in. It is a big hotel. I don't know if there will be another conference running there during the time that we are there, but that is probably likely because we're certainly not using all of the event space available to us. It will be on multiple levels connected by escalators, and yeah, you'll want to allow time to get from your room down to the sessions. And as far as passing from one concurrent session to another, they won't be that spread apart. But it is a fairly large hotel. It'll be well labeled, so you'll be able to have, directional information to get you around. And then the conference app, of course, there's going to be a map to the Sheraton Center and the spaces that we're occupying in the different levels.
Yeah, there's a maps tab inside of the app, the conference app, and it has each level, and the rooms are marked. That we will have the actual room numbers on there, so you'll be able to see which level the room that you're on, or that your session is going to be on, and how to get there. So, and there will be lots of directional signing because, as Mary said, the hotel is very large, and we are using multiple levels for sessions.
Okay, thanks. There's a couple of questions here about Toronto City Airport. Because many of us are going into the larger airport, but for Toronto City Airport, do you know how far it is from the hotel? And there's another question related to ground transportation. Do you know anything about transportation from there to the hotel?
I don't know how far that one is from the hotel, but I would assume that they will have the Up Express as well. If whoever asked that question, Marcus, if you guys just send me an email, and I will get that information for you and email it back to you this afternoon.
Okay, thanks. So another travel question. Is there anything we need to know about crossing the border between the U.S. and Canada by car besides the passport?
No, I just suggest printing that letter that we talked about earlier to show that you are coming over to a 10-day conference. If you're going by car, just have that readily available as you come across the border. I don't think it will be any issues with just having your passport, but just have that letter just in case.
Yeah, the U.S. to Canada crossing is fairly straightforward as long as you have clear reason why you're there. And then I know they will ask if you're bringing anything of value, gift-wise, either into Canada or out of Canada. They'll ask you to declare that when you're crossing the border, so just something to keep in mind. Which I think also, Naronda, you may know, there's a declaration form that typically when you fly in, you have to fill in as well. Did you hear about that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
And it's simple, straightforward. A lot of that's done, they have computer monitors or things set up, so a lot of that's done electronically, so you can just fill it out electronically when you're crossing over into Canada.
And actually, thanks to Andy, one of our participants here, he said to take off your sunglasses and turn off your radio at the border. So that was a good suggestion if you're driving in. Okay, so how many attendees have signed up? It was somewhere in the mid-750s that we just talked about, I think.
Yes, the latest number as of last week was 753 NAGAP members. That does not include vendors.
Okay. So conversions. So we had talked about using U.S. dollars and getting Canadian change back. Is that something we can just do at the hotel, or is that throughout Toronto?
That's throughout Toronto.
Okay.
We went to several restaurants and stores and used U.S. cash and got back Canadian money. So.
Okay. There's two questions here related to the offsite. Can you talk about the offsite a little bit more in depth? What can we expect there? And let's see, there's several questions related to it. I want to get them. Are plus ones welcome to the offsite event?
You have to pay for plus ones for the offsite. What to expect at the offsite? They have interactive gaming at the offsite. You'll have opportunities to take pictures with the actual Stanley Cup at the offsite event. You can go around and it's really cool just to kind of see the different teams that have won over the history of hockey and just kind of see the different uniforms. They have a locker room. where you can go in and they have like hockey gear in there that you could possibly put on to you take photos as well. The interactive gaming is pretty cool because you could play against like an automated goalie to try to get your puck in. And it's really spacious. There's lots of room. There's places where you can kind of get away from the noise if you need to. The gift shop will be open, and we will have, of course, music, food, and I think the plan is to do karaoke/DJ this year. So that's going to be a little different from what we've done before. I don't think we've ever done karaoke in NAGAP. So that will be pretty exciting. So it'll be a fun time.
And it's located near Union Station. So again, you can walk using underground, walk above ground, or you can taxi, Uber, Lyft to that site. It's about, I think, a mile away.
And using the underground, we will have directional signs and people helping to direct through the underground to get from the hotel to Hockey Hall of Fame.
So for clarification, there will be no shuttles for offsite, right?
There will be no shuttles. It's possible that if we have members that are attending that may have physical issues that they can't walk that distance, there may be like a small shuttle bus, but for the membership, no, it's not.
Okay. Sorry, there's still a pile of questions. So where can we exchange Canadian cash before leaving? I mean, typically I suggest the airport in either direction, and it's pretty easy to convert once you get there. I don't know if Naronda and Mary have any suggestions on that.
Yeah, you can also check with your local banks. Whoever you bank with, they may be able to do currency exchange as well. But they do have that at the airport.
Okay. Another suggestion here, if you bring your passport, leave it behind in your hotel room so you don't lose it. That's important to get back.
And make a copy of it and leave it at home with somebody, just in case for any reason you may lose it. You'll at least have a copy to be able to help with that.
Yeah.
And put a copy in your luggage, because there's a U.S. embassy there that you could possibly go to with that copy if in any event you may lose your passport.
Good tips. Couple of things with conference logistics specifically. One is, what is the dress code for the conference and the offsite?
For the conference, it's business casual. The rooms are typically cold, so make sure you bring a jacket or a sweater for the actual session room. For the offsite, it's casual. You can do jeans. If you want to do shorts, you can. If you're used to the cold and the wet weather, but yeah, definitely that's casual. So whatever you decide to wear is completely up to you for the offsite.
Okay, and for the sessions themselves during the conference, do we need to register at all or sign up, or can we just decide each day and go to the sessions we want to go to?
You plan your own day, so you can use the link on the site or the webs of the new app, which I would recommend using if you can, to plan your schedule and identify those sessions that appeal to you. There is no sign up to go to the individual concurrent sessions that are offered Wednesday through Saturday.
Okay, and is the app necessary, or will there be a paper copy for the conference program?
We are going green, so we will not be providing a paper agenda, so it'll be located in the app. There's also a website. It was earlier in the presentation, and you can just go to nagap.org and bring up the conference program to look at the conference sessions that way as well.
Okay, and for travel logistics getting back, how early do you recommend arriving at the airport in Toronto to fly back to the U.S.?
I would suggest at least 3 hours prior to your flight, because you and probably 600 other people may be trying to get back during that time frame between Saturday and Sunday or whenever you're leaving. So I would leave more time to get there. So I would go no later than 3 hours prior to my flight. I would try to be at the airport.
Okay.
One note about that is you will go through customs on the Canada side, so that's a little bit different than what you expect. So you actually go through customs in Toronto when you're leaving the airport, and when you land in the U.S., you just kind of walk off your plane and go home as per usual.
Okay. Kimmy had a suggestion here for those of you who don't want to use the app for your registration or following the program. You can print out the schedule from our website. So if you want to have a printed copy, that's the way you can do that. At the welcome reception on Wednesday, that is the night to wear university shirts. So that's the school spirit night. What's the food and cocktail plan for that evening? Is it dinner or just pass food at the reception?
It will be just kind of past foods like we've had in the past for the welcome reception. So, and you will get two drink tickets per night, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. So you will have those drink tickets, and anything outside of that, it will be cash on you. But yeah, there are lots of good food. It's a variety of food. We have some Canadian foods. We have the traditional U.S. foods that are being offered, but it's all delicious. We sampled all of it.
And that dress code for the welcome reception is casual, right, Naronda?
It is. It is.
We've got several questions related to the offsite. Can tickets still be purchased for guests, and how do they do that?
Yes, they can still be purchased for guests. You can do it on site when you do your registration, when you check in at the hotel.
Okay. Sorry, bouncing between more questions. Do we know if there are TSA liquid restrictions, if they're the same coming from Canada back into the U.S. as we have here?
I'm 99% sure it's the same. I didn't have any issues with anything coming back, going or coming back. And I always have liquids and lotions and things in my bag, so didn't have any problems.
Okay. And Christy, thanks for the clarification on the schedule, just for everyone that's still on the line. The conference schedule, there is a brief schedule version that's printed in the journal book that you'll get at registration, but some of those sessions, because of some last minute changes, are not current. So the app will be the most current, and we oftentimes have some last minute changes at the conference itself. So the app will be constantly updating. So the app will be the most reliable agenda that you have available to you. There's a few questions about the certificate. So I'll just say quickly, the GEM certificate it was designed for people since NAGAP is the kind of leader in graduate enrollment management, we are really trying to deliver on making sure our members and attendees are really prepared to be well-rounded GEM professionals, and most of us tend to be in admissions or marketing and recruitment, something related to that. So we've got those wheelhouses down, and we tend to self-select into sessions that are related to those areas at the conference. They also get very full. So what we've done is created the certificate that encompasses all of the other areas in GEM in hopes that it'll help our members get some more well-rounded experiences and information and education ultimately at the annual conference. So there are 6 different categories. And in order to earn the certificate, you have to attend one session from 5 of those 6 categories. So there's 5 sessions total out of, I believe, the 9 blocks that we offer at the whole conference for you to earn that certificate. And you'll have a card that you pick up at registration, and we will have somebody stamping your card at each of the related sessions. So the sessions are listed both on the website and on the card that you'll receive. If you want to be put on the wait list, just email me there. You see it's on the 4th bullet on the slide that Naronda pulled up. So thanks for pulling that up. So we still have, I think, maybe a couple spots left that we can accommodate people. So just shoot your email over and I will do my best. There's probably at least 10 of you that have already emailed me. So I will do our best to get you fit into the certificate, or we'll put you on the waiting list. Is there a Wi-Fi code that people should know about, or will that be provided on site, Naronda?
That is a good question. I know there will be Wi-Fi in the session rooms. I'm not sure about throughout the hotel. You said Christy was on. She may be able to answer that for us.
Yep, I'll watch to see if she posts anything here. In the session rooms, the Wi-Fi code will be posted on the slides, so you can. It'll be provided there in each room. Can Fun Run T-shirts still be purchased?
Yes, they can still be purchased.
Okay, and is that can they do that at the NAGAP registration desk? And what's the cost?
Yeah, they will be available at the NAGAP desk, and I think they're at $15.
Okay. Question about the drink tickets and the pages for the vendors to stamp. In the past, we've used a NAGAP passport that people could pull things out of. Do you know if and how those are being disseminated this year?
I think we're going to use the passports again this year. So it'll be the same way. It'll be in that book, and you can have all that information there. Okay,
great. And there was one logistic question, and I think it's probably more a matter of opinion, but the question was, if my return flight is at 7 a.m. out of Toronto, is waiting for the train to the airport safe at 4 a.m. for someone traveling alone? Do you know much about the station there and safety and all of that, Naronda or Mary?
I don't know. We didn't actually go to the station. That time of morning, I would suggest taking a cab. I would not want to go alone to the train station that time of morning. I mean, it may be perfectly safe, but me as personally, I would not.
I would agree. Although Toronto is a very busy urban city, it's very safe. I think at leaving that early for a flight, I would want to take a cab or a taxi from the hotel, and you should be able to use any number of services at the hotel to accommodate that.
Okay, and then sorry, Naronda, go ahead.
Hold on, Mark. I had a question that came in earlier where somebody asked about, we talked about the recommendations for the currency. They asked how much would you recommend. That's definitely a preference of your own, how much money you think you would want to spend while you're there. And like I said, they do take the U.S. dollar and credit cards. The best way to travel to the airport, probably the quickest way will be the Up Express. Traveling via cab or Uber is, like Mary said, it's a very busy urban area, so it could take a little bit longer by vehicle versus using the train. And yes, U.S. dollars are accepted for tips in Toronto.
Yeah, and on personal experience, I was in Montreal over the summer, and I tended to find that credit cards were the easiest to use at most vendors. The only thing I would caution everyone on is check your credit card to make sure they don't charge fees, because there is a foreign fee that's charged on a lot of credit cards. So check that before you leave so that you don't run into that crazy bill when you get home. And similarly with your cell phone and other types of things, just make sure you know what you're getting into with those. But you might find that you don't need a lot of cash there, and you can live off using your credit card pretty easily to get around. And there's a question about train travel, and I don't know if Mary or Naronda, since you guys weren't using the train, you'd be able to answer this, but is it fairly easy to travel on the train with 2 pieces of luggage?
Yes, they do have luggage areas for you to put your luggage in, so it's not like you would have to hold your luggage on the train. There are specific areas that you could put your luggage in, so it should be fairly easy. Okay.
And there was a question regarding credit cards here. Visa and MasterCard are accepted in Canada. There's a global network, and I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's like, those is it NICE or whatever? There's a few different networks that all the credit cards participate in, and they are accepted through Canada. Just check on those fees, because not all credit cards will waive those fees for you. And I think we've caught up on everything. The only other questions were related to logistics of this webinar we have. I'm going to take the recording of this and post it on our YouTube channel, and we can probably post it on our conference page as well, so look for that later today. And we'll send you an email with a link to that, as well as and hopefully Naronda can send over the slides, and I can just send you a PDF of the slides as well, so you have all of this information right in front of you. So we'll provide that to you as soon as possible. So Naronda or Mary, any parting words?
I'm just looking forward to seeing everyone next week.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us, and safe travels to Toronto, and make sure you stop and say hello to us when you see us at the conference.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day and travel safe to Toronto.
Thanks, Marcus. Have a great day, everyone.